Well, on this very difficult morning after a violent night, today also happens to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and combined with Wear Orange weekend tomorrow and Sunday, it aims to honor survivors and uplift their voices.
The executive director of Moms Demand Gun Action, Angela Farrell-Zabala, joins us now live. Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, and thank you for wearing orange this morning.
Well, we want to start, Angela. What does the scale of this movement say about how deeply gun violence has touched our country?
Well, this is a pretty big deal. I first want to say, and you'll hear from Cleo Pendleton later, but Wear Orange started with friends and family of Hadiya Pendleton, a young woman who was shot and killed. And Wear Orange, what it signifies, is the color hunters wear in the woods to protect themselves from gunfire. And this is now the 11th year, and it's a national moment with hundreds of events across this country. The magnitude is pretty big. As you know, guns are the #1 killer of kids and teens in this country. 56% of adults identify as survivors of gun violence themselves, or someone that they love identifies that way. So this is touching every corner. It doesn't matter, urban, suburban, rural communities alike. It's a pretty big deal across this country as a public health crisis.
I know today isn't just about raising awareness, it's about turning pain into purpose, if you will. How important is it to center survivors in this overall conversation, and what can people learn from them?
It's really important. Survivors, I will speak personally, the reason that I get up and do this work every single day is the strength of these survivors and folks that have seen this tragedy firsthand and still get up and take pain and turn it into purpose and do everything in their power to ensure that no other community, no other nation, not only are they fighting for they're resilient and they're fighting for themselves and their families, but they're fighting for all of us. So it's survivor-led, community-led, and they're shaping the future of public safety, which I must say that in Illinois, the state is doing incredible. Still much to be done, but so many laws, strong gun laws are being passed to actually protect communities, including lawmakers recently passed House Bill 1710 is a Homicide Data Transparency Act. So there's so much going on and so much that folks can do to continue on the progress that we're making here.
Angela, thank you so much for your insight. And you had mentioned Cleo Pendleton. She is actually right here beside us this morning, Hadiya Pendleton's mom. Cleo, thank you so much for being here. 12 years since you lost your daughter.
Yes.
And 12 years really since you began your fight to try to raise awareness about and combat gun violence.
Yes.
In the 12 years, do you feel there's been any systemic change?
There have been a lot of attempts to make changes and a lot of things implemented. However, I think there are still areas where work can be done. Mm-hmm. I know that over the Memorial holiday, Chicago had a lower rate of gun crimes. Mm-hmm. However, one life is too many. And I think that it's easy to want to take the win in those situations, but there's someone that's still taking a loss. And it's a lot to try and navigate in terms of what do we do next with our lives. I understand that there is a desire to make sure that any perpetrators don't commit the crime again, but there still is very much a need for families to be provided what they need for as far as mental health and other resources to also move forward with their lives.
Can I ask you a personal question?
You may.
12 years, how do you find the strength to keep up this fight when sometimes I'm sure it feels like you are rolling a big rock up a hill only to have it come crashing down again every single night?
Hadiya was somebody. I know oftentimes we talk about statistics, but people tend to forget that the statistics are actually people. And I believe that as long as I have breath in me, her father and brother do, that we're going to speak on her behalf. And we want that to be an inspiration to anyone else that unfortunately experiences the same fate. So, I mean, I almost feel like I don't have a choice. Mm-hmm. Because I do have the ability to communicate what the experience is like, and I don't mind being transparent with the fact that every day has not been pretty. Yeah. You know, I mean, there are unhealthy ways to make it, but there are preventative ways to help families as well. So that's really been my focus.
Well, you are an inspiration for using your voice.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Cleo, for joining us. Such an important conversation to have.
Before I go, the Party for Peace is tomorrow. We do it every year in Hadiya Pendleton Park. It's 4345 South Calumet. It'll be from 1 to 5 p.m. There'll be everything there.
Thank you for mentioning that. So important. And,
Yes.
and we appreciate that. And we are also wearing orange today.
I see, it's beautiful. Thank you.
In solidarity, if you will.
Absolutely.
Come out, wear your orange tomorrow.
Please.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. Plus, here's a look at what's coming up at 7 o'clock.